with your arms long, hooks with pieces of string on the end, like literally as high as you can without your crotch getting in the way, on the way back, and then on the after you've achieved that peak height, then on the way down we're trying to make that arc bigger, yeah? So we want to literally go as low as we can without scraping the floor, yeah?
Are we trying to load the hamstrings mostly for the power coming through? I mean, how bent do you want your knees to be in terms of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I sort of feel like I kind of go quite straight leg and try to reach back, but that's
so the advantage with that is you might reach a higher point at the back where the back reaches a really high point, and then therefore you assist with gravity. But
would you kind of, if I was coaching it for something,
right, okay.
Would I say, would you kind of, like you were saying with stones and stuff, depending on whether you're more hip dominant or more kind of...
right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I would say, for the sake of coaching people to try and keep it simple, I'd say keep the torso angle similar on the way out and like way back on the way up. So yeah, hinge, but I just find that if you just hinge too much, the problem is if you hinge too much, unless you get really technical on the follow through and rebend the knee really better with good timing and stuff, like it's really tough. Like if you hinge, look where my power's going, right? If I hinge right there and say, you say to your clients, right, hinge as far as you can, right, now extend properly. Where's all the power? Power's here. Yeah. So if I extend my body powerfully, where's the power going?
Forward.
Yeah, it's going forward, so I have to like kind of correct that.
Yeah.
Or if we get a little bit more knee bend, like think more like kind of weightlifting, it's going to like, we're looking for like optimal power, but coupled with trajectory.
Direction.
Yeah, exactly. And realistically, we want to produce as much force as we can vertically, and then just kind of calibrate it forwards and backwards. So. Yeah, we got any more questions on that? What do you think? Sounds cool. Go on, let's do another throw. Because I've got a drill for you. So you say you were focusing on hitting triple extension.
And I wasn't really even thinking about what was happening behind.
It was good though. It was good.
Okay, fine.
It was good. Like, but again, you'll probably benefit from thinking about doing it higher, excellent lower. But a thing for you, what I do as a drill would be do lighter work and then pause on the toes, because what you do the throw, but get to the top and then pause on the toes, because that's really good.
All I thought was a pause.
Yeah, that was really good. Whereas the last one, like I know you launched it over and was successful in terms of the lift, but your weight was going that way.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, you went like this, the throw was good, but you were walking into there. So that was much better in terms of power. That was nice. Yeah. But that one was maybe scooching back a little bit too much, and that's why the bag went back a little bit more. So go somewhere in between. And like what I'd do as a little warm up for you would be first few reps that you do a 3-second pause on your toes and make sure you can hold that position. If you can do that, your line's good. Yeah, see you going forward, yeah? So fix that, and that'll give you good returns, definitely. But technique's excellent. Like, I find that it's like muscle snatch, isn't it?
I paused on my toes.
Yeah.
I need to find the sweet spot between the two.
Of course. So that was more optimal power. Yeah. But when your power's in an optimal line, your release point's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just need to couple that optimal power with ideal release point, and it'll be gravy.
Cool. Thank you very much.
So yeah, I would add the do whatever your throwing session in, and that'd be a good thing for you. Like, what's the most you've done? What
18 or 20.
18 or 20.
Yeah, to bit lower than.
Cool. So I'd probably grab the 20 and put like maybe 4 or 5 sets of 10 swings at the start. Do your throwing session, mate, and you could even do 4 or 5 sets of 10 swings at the end, and your gains will just accelerate. So you've got an extra 80 to 100 reps.
Yeah, that you wouldn't have if you were throwing it, retrieving it, throwing it.
And you'll find that when you do the swings, even though it feels light because it's only 20 kilos, like you'll feel like you probably like I felt it there, so I've done it for a bit, but like my feet were like all over the place. So obviously, if you over the course of the sets like feel more, like get more stable, and it's going to be a lot more efficient. So good. Got any more questions on anything else? I'll talk all day, guys. Yeah. So this is where it's really, really, really beneficial to throw over a target. It might sound simple, but most people, when they compete, like it comes up in a comp, and a lot of people will get a sandbag, they'll throw it in the garden or whatever, or outside at a gym, and they'll feel like, oh yeah, I'm throwing it really high, feels great. But then you go to a comp and it's about the trajectory. It's not just about the power. So simple way of thinking about it is, the further away that you are, the more force you're gonna have to produce to get the weight over, but the more forgiving it's going to be, like, because you can just kind of launch it there, and whereas you go really close underneath, which you get like, you're going to need that. You're going to need that skill of being able to do this trajectory when it gets really, really heavy for you, to maximize what you can actually do. Like, I suppose my point is, like, I've beaten people at this in comp who are a lot more powerful than me, just from getting underneath it and sneaking it over and being more accurate. They've launched it higher, but they've got the trajectory wrong. So, and literally the only way of doing that, again, it's not something that you can like just learn more theory on. You need to you need to practice.
And would you always do like a single throw?
So it depends. If you it depends. So the lighter the bags, the less swings that you do. As they get heavier, you might find it better to get it in position, make sure you're at the right place, and then so it depends. It massively depends on the. Again, it's a bit like doing a stone run, really. There's so many different techniques you can use. So with the ones to start off with, like the lighter ones, you can. I've seen people do them so light that they if you're doing a really, really light run, I've seen the quickest way could be just grabbing the bag there and launching it over straight away.
On the handle.
Not even on the handle. Yeah, if you like, say you were doing a comp, it could be like 10 to 20 or something.
Yeah.
If it with a 10, you'd be able to just fling the 10 quicker than going pop, pop, pop. Yeah. So and then the next fastest technique would probably be, if you're going to grab the handle, would be kind of jumping back. The quickest way would be just doing it from there. That's another thing that you'd consider, would be how far you need to be away from that.
Yes.
Like, and how much energy is it costing you with the first light bag to go from here compared to going from here, and if it's going to cost you the same energy, just launch it from there. But then it's harder to to measure as you go along, knowing where you are in relation to the thing, which you might find it easier if you're doing this. If they're all like kind of moderate bags, you might find it easier like finding a focal point and going pop, pop, knowing your feet are at the focal point, and be consistent with that all the way through. So in terms of technique, what you do with the fast technique, you could go, right, say I'm going to like just inside that, you could kind of, I prefer it personally. Some of the guys that I coach are really good. Have you seen Tim Daglish do it? He's like, go and copy his technique. It's like fantastic. And he'll like use both hands, jump back in one, and then it's just pulls it straight to there, and it's like kind of straight away. Whereas I personally prefer it like a lot stronger on this left side. So I find it easier for some reason, like reaching with the left leg and going like that.
What do you make a Nova calls with?
I was
doing it?
literally going to ask that same
See, he's
question.
got handles like that
Straight.
instead
Oh
of
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I've tried it. Makes sense, doesn't it?
You know, the bag would like kind of sway a bit less. You don't need to worry about having limp
Yeah.
wrists a wee bit.
But it's just hard getting like an even upper body attachment on the way up. But yeah, definitely worth trying it. I've tried it because
I think it's more to do with the fact that
the logic is like you're making the lever longer
Yeah.
than if you have your hands like here.
Aye.
So a simple little tip: if you're doing hands here like that or square, like make sure your hands are touching, because then you're making sure the lever's one like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen a few people holding it more like that position.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wonder, well, that was
Maybe
Yeah.
they were shorter and they just needed, so they didn't want to be like scuffing the ground.
But also waste
Yeah.
time setting up like as well.
Yeah.
I just wondered if there was any power benefit to doing it that way rather than
Definitely not a power benefit, but yeah, like if they're really short and you've got a really long bag and
Sure.
you feel like you can't load it whatsoever and it's scraping on the way out, then yeah. But for most of us, yeah, no, I think your technique's really good. So simple cues to optimize power would be like look like high on the backswing, or aim for your crotch on the backswing, and then aim to go as low as you can on the downswing, without scraping the floor. Yeah. So like high to low like that, creating a big arc. So what you're trying to do logically, we're trying to create, trying to make this bag go as high as possible here. Yeah, so coming up high, because the higher it is, what assists us on the way down?
Speed force.
Gravity, exactly. Yeah. So if we can achieve height by entering high like that, you see a lot of guys who look really strong and really powerful, and they're not getting that much height. And you look at the backswing, and they're going in low like that. So if it goes in low, look at the peak height that I achieve here on the backswing compared to if I go, maybe not a good demo, but like, hopefully you can see the like kind of scoot there to go here and then through, compared to see people doing it like that versus like that. So yeah, that's a game changer for people. Like, if you're not doing it anyway, is like high on the backswing, low on the downswing. And what I would recommend for drilling this in and accumulating a lot of volume would be just doing swings with it, because you do a session, like you do a 20-minute session here and count how many bags you throw. You're not actually getting that many reps in terms of volume every time you go to it and pick it up. Whereas actually you can accumulate a lot of volume, practice the pattern. So you probably
Swinging it without releasing it.
yeah, like kettlebell swings,
Yeah.
but not a kettlebell swing action.
Yeah.
Because you're practicing the scoop. Yeah. So instead of going like whatever, like you do on a kettlebell swing, like we want to kind of practice that arc where we go. Can you see how it goes back and drops and scoop, like the scooping action?
It's like a hinge, kind of.
Yeah, like hinge on the way back
Aye.
with your hands high, almost scraping your crotch, and then some people describe it as a scooping action on the way out. Yeah, that's the simplest way I find of putting it. Like.